Okay, I think we're live.
It looks like we are indeed. Take
Looks
it
like
away,
we're
my
live.
friend.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm Mike or PurkisM. This is the girl and the robot. Before we get going, I had a donation incentive. How's that looking, Argic?
Let us have a quick look here, but last time I checked, it was the Kickstarter outfit, so it looks like you are going to be going with the Kickstarter outfits here. Quick
Alright.
refresh, and we are at $35 on the Kickstarter outfits, so yeah, definitely. Let's
Cool.
go for the Kickstarter.
Oh, that is good. They are already selected. So yeah, let's just crack into it, I guess. Time is gonna start when I hit enter on here. So whoever's doing time, I'll go from 3 and we'll go on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, this is The Girl and the Robot, a game where surprisingly you play as a girl and a robot. If you couldn't guess, this is meant to be a two-person sort of puzzle platformer kind of game. We play it a little bit different than that, and after this forced 20-second cutscene, we should get into it. Cool. So this is the girl in a nice blue and white Kickstarter outfit, and she's sort of going to be the main sort of crux of the run. We're going to be using her a lot. Basically, like I said, it's a two-character, character platform puzzle sort of thing. Where was I? I've already lost what I was saying. Yeah, so the girl. Basically, each character has different strengths and weaknesses. So the girl, she's small, nimble, fast, she can jump. The robot, which you'll see in a little bit, he's a bit bigger, a bit clunky, but he can attack enemies. He's got this bow that you'll see in a little bit. And, but he's kind of slow, so you'll see in a bit, we're going to try and avoid using him, and we're just going to avoid that guy that dropped down just then, because if he grabs us, that is game over. But now we've got this fancy cool little amulet. A little bit of speed tech there, that's very nice. Yeah, we've got the amulet, that lets us switch between the two characters. We're going to be doing that a little bit. Hopefully not going to get trolled by this guy. Going to do a little bit of an edge walk so that his pathing stops. And that went really well. He can give you an attack that is not very good. And now a nice little cutscene, where we call it the friendship cutscene. And I spent a long time trying to find a skip for this cutscene. Found one. Turns out the setup for the skip was 4 seconds, and the cutscene that we were trying to skip was also 4 seconds long. So, null and void, completely useless. No point skipping the cutscene. But you can see now, the robot can also pick up the girl. That's going to be the main sort of movement when we need to get two people to the same place at the same time. Not too often. We're not going to see an awful lot of that. We're going to see the first use of death warps in a second. So basically, the whole point of this is that you have to get on a lift, but the lever's on the outside of the lift. So what you were meant to do is go grab that with the girl, get the robot back up, but instead, you can see we've just hit a checkpoint. So what I'm going to do instead is just jump off. I wouldn't advise doing that at home, but now the robot's just going to jump straight up to where we are. And that's all very nice. Saves a lot of time throughout the run. We're gonna use that quite a bit. This is kind of a bit of a tricky part coming up, so hopefully I don't goof it. What we're meant to do here is take the robot around the outside. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna be a bit risky. If any of these grab me, I have to restart the entire checkpoint. So hopefully that doesn't happen. It looks like we're okay. I remember being really stubborn at the start when we were devising that strat, like, no, we can't do it, it's too random, there's no way you can't do it. And then someone in the community was like, no, here's like a really easy setup. Hopefully I don't flub this. And I flubbed it, cool. Did you like seeing all that? Because we're going to see it again. So I flubbed, so Argic, if you got a donation, now's a great time.
Oh, we've not got anything coming in at the moment, but again, just to let you all know, the next one coming up is Pokemon Let's Go Eevee Pikachu, and you get to decide which one of the Pokemon we are going to be playing, which one of the games we will be playing. Right now, Pikachu is winning with $25, and we have Eevee with 15, so your donations can make all the difference. Will we get a snipe in at the end? Who knows? Who is the better Pokemon? Is it Pikachu, or is it Eevee?
I'd say Eevee, personally.
I would say in this case it's Eevee as well, yeah.
I like Eevee. So back to the run. This is a very tricky And I got it second try. Very nice. So basically, there's a invisible wall that's kind of sticking out on that corner, and we have to jump around it. And you can't see it, so you just kind of have to feel it. Unfortunately, I didn't feel it very well the first time, but the second time went good. Now I'm actually doing a little bit of a sequence break here. So something I'll get a bit more into is this game is completely checkpoint based. You can't progress through the game without hitting each checkpoint. So there is a checkpoint right down here, which you're supposed to hit. But I'm instead gonna jump down there, hit that trigger, then hit the next one, just kind of float through the floor a little bit there, and then we get back up, and that skips a whole 2-character thing that you're supposed to do. I'm seeing in chat, has anyone played this game co-op? No one's really done it co-op. It's pretty a bit hard to do. There's no like actual co-op section. I just need to listen here. There's an audio cue I need, so just 1 second. Okay, I got the quickest. I just want to show a quick bug here, actually. That's a nice useless out of bounds. Okay, back to the run. So, that audio cue basically told me which pattern this room is going to be. So, it can only be one of 3 patterns, but which one it is completely random. No way of influencing that or determining it. Also, no way of skipping it. So I did have a very terrible strat one time. I was like, well, we could save time pressing the button by just guessing and hoping, which would have been awful. But you can't actually solve that puzzle without hitting that button. So that kind of ruined that. Another 2-character skip there. You're supposed to have each character on each of those buttons. But instead of doing that, you can just run across them both, and they have a bit of a timer to them, to as when they're down and when they're up. So you can just run across both pretty quickly. And that just skips needing the robot there, so we don't have to bring him out or anything. It's all very nice. All very good. So now we're in the town. This is sort of like a little hub worldy area sort of thing. I'm actually going to try some shiny new tech here. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to put this guy here. It might go well, it might not. I practiced this twice before I did this run. But it's not too difficult, and it's not really run ending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the girl here, and then I'm going to... Okay, this isn't great, but we'll see. What I want to do is I want to lose 2 pieces of armor. So I'm doing a kind of sword cancel dodge thing. That was alright. So now that I've lost those 2 pieces of armor, I run a lot quicker as the robot. You can lose 3 pieces of armor before you well, 4 technically, but you lose 3 and that's the quickest you can go. But I'm just going to play it a bit safe. So this is the new tech. We call this pillar skip. Turns out the robot can just shoot through walls. If you aim your bow right next to the wall, you can just shoot straight through it, provided there's no collision on the other side. So this makes things a little bit interesting. So I'm going to hit this checkpoint. Because like I said before, we have to hit every checkpoint. And then, now this guy isn't going to leave his little house. And we can just kind of spam him from there. But what that skips is a bit of platforming as the girl and a slow pillar pushing animation. And that's part of the reason we want to lose some armor. Because we're doing a bit more walking as a robot now. And especially in this section, this is at least the first part, not the best. It's very rigid, very much like you have 2 characters, you're going to use these 2 characters. So you basically have to kind of daisy chain these platforms together. You see this laser on the floor, and you can't activate the next one unless the previous one is held, and it's a big long chain. Hopefully I don't die here. But we're fine for this section now. Oh, was I not on the... There we go. Wasn't quite stood on the platform. That's cool. And now this guy, just kind of a quick look where he is. He's in a not good spot, but fortunately, I can just shoot through this little wall here, and that's going to save a bit of time. There's 3 positions. The position we want is in this room where I've just put the girl now, because we have to open that anyway, so it's super quick to just run and chuck the girl, like, kill that guy and then chuck the girl in there. But it's not too bad. Nothing really run ending. Hopefully I get this first try. Cool. Nope. Gonna set that up again. I'll do the old way. I'll do the old way. So we call this gate hack when I do it right. Nice. Cool. There we go. So that was the old strat. We have a new strat where we shoot through that wall, but a little bit inconsistent. Kind of hard to set up. There's no like set movement pace or like distance. A little bit tricky to set up. But now we're coming to the end of the basement. The not amazing section of the run. Like, it's cool, but it's a bit slow. But we have to do this for another checkpoint. So the checkpoints have like two different sort of criteria. They're either positional or they're like event based. So some will trigger just as you get there. Others you have to do a certain thing and then it'll activate the checkpoint. So we're gonna go a little bit out of bounds here. There's a lot to talk about here. So basically there's quite a few skips all coming up one after the other. Not too hard to explain. It's just jumping on collision. Hopefully I don't get treed, and I didn't. Hopefully I get this first try. And I did. That's very nice. I had to take such a wide jump there because it's a big invisible wall. And again, I was a stubborn old grouch back in the day and thought that you couldn't do it. And then someone who'd been running the game for a week found a way. So that was cool. So what I'm skipping right now is a bunch of platforming, a couple of cutscenes, and now's a very boring mandatory puzzle section. So Argic, again, any donations, any blurbs, whatever, read them now. You've got a little bit of time.
We do indeed. We've got a $15 donation from Devin Sanity saying, Pikachu always gets all the attention. Let's go, Eevee. And that donation brings us, I believe, to Eevee in the lead. Let me just confirm that here. A quick refresh on the page. And I think that gives Eevee a $5 lead at the moment. So yeah, right now Eevee in the lead. Pikachu trailing by $5, 25 to 30. But you gotta get your favorite Pokemon between the two here.
Oh, Eevee.
Go Eevee.
Go Eevee. You got a little bit longer if you've got something else you wanna plug.
I just want to let everybody know that we are raising money for Crisis. They are a charity that are supporting people out of homelessness for good. They are achieving this through education, training, and support with housing, employment, and health. And of course, 100% of your donations from this event will be supporting Crisis. And again, thank you very much, everybody, for your donations. Please do keep them coming in. We're here, I believe, for about another 5-6 hours? Question mark?
Something like that. So, yeah, so after that boring bit, we actually do have a cool couple little skips. So there, again, there's another point where there was two pressure plates to push. And, again, we can just jump around that. We're pretty good with the whole jumping. Now we're going to do a little bit of Celeste. We're going to climb that mountain. This is, I hope I don't mess this up, actually. We'll see. So there's a boss fight in here, and it's really bad. And they really didn't want you to skip this boss fight. But fortunately, what we can do is once we hit that checkpoint before the boss fight, we can just hit the loading zone for the next area. And fortunately, the next checkpoint is positional. The game does not care if you've beaten the boss or not. And you can see, well, you might have seen before with the robot, like, they try and lock you in, but they didn't anticipate you just leaving one of the characters in there. So yeah, we can just climb up and we can just skip. Now we're in the maze. The maze is probably the most fun and broken area of the game. So you can see I completely skipped that first island. Coming to the end of the second island now. Hopefully I get lucky here. Don't get me, don't get me. Cool, it didn't get me. Yeah, the physics, they didn't... Mainly, they didn't play test this game with a keyboard and mouse. So you can see my... Oop, if I didn't fall off. Like, my turning speed is like 1-to-1 with the mouse. And basically, I mean, mazes are easy if you can walk across the walls. I'm gonna show a nice little Easter egg, because why not? Why not make my estimate even harder to keep? Here's some cute little robots. That's a Steam achievement. There you go. Alright, going back up. So this is the part where you're supposed to swap back. What you're meant to have done is have the girl in one area, have the robot go through those first 2 islands, 3 islands, and then now you swap back. And this is a whole terrible chase sequence. But we just kind of skip the trigger for the AI to follow us, and just kind of jump along the walls. Again, here, skipping a cutscene, because we can just jump all over the walls. Very nice. Another death warp. That just skips us having to wait for the lift and go down the lift. We can just go straight down. This bit is a little bit tricky. Not tricky, but I just want to bait these guys out enough so that when I get to this side, none of them are going to grab me. So that's nice. And I'm going to take this safe. Definitely hit that checkpoint. And again, the 2 platforms, but we can just jump around this gate. Because, again, just mouse and keyboard is just really OP for this run. You'll notice now I'm hanging off the edge. I did that a little bit earlier before. Basically, when you're hanging off the edge, the AI can't path to you. So they just stand there and do nothing. Kind of funny, very useful. Because there is 2 versions of this route. There's the legacy route and then current patch route. This is actually current patch. And basically, in Legacy, there was a cool technique glitch that would just freeze all the AI in place. Unfortunately, they patched it out, so we had to get a bit more creative. So for a while, current patch was slower than Legacy, but we found something pretty cool in the last area, which makes it just so much quicker. Hopefully, I don't gub this robot walk again. We can only do that so quickly because of the mouse movement. So yeah, we're coming up to the last level now, which is good because I've got about 3 or so minutes left, so that's nice. We're not going to use the robot at all for the next little bits. We're going to use him once to shoot an arrow, and then we'll use him a bit. I may be exaggerating, but this area you're supposed to like get the robot, go through all these. There's so many bad guys, and they're really quick bad guys too. So that's kind of tricky, but instead of doing all that, I'm going to jump on this wall. There's just a little bit I can jump on, and then drop down here. And what I've done now is skip the trigger for the AI. So they're just kind of hanging out. They're just chilling. They'll look at you, and I'm like, should we chase her? And I'm like, no, she didn't walk through the gate, so just leave her be, I guess. Alright, last level, most broken level. That skipped a bunch of puzzles. And now we're going to go around again, and we're going to jump on this little teeny ledge, which lets us jump on here. That skipped a bunch more puzzles. So now we're on a bridge, and then just to save a bit of time, we're going to death warp. That's going to bring the robot over here, and I'm going to try and time out a cutscene skip, which I got. 3, 5, and got another, didn't get a second one, but now, this is why this patch is so much quicker. We call this Robot Jesus. Basically, in the new patch, they added a new water model, and it looks a lot better. It's very cool, but it's higher than the old water model, and they forgot to raise the kill plane for the new model, so we can just walk on it. It's nice. It's pretty cool. All very nice, and that saves about 1.5 minutes. Like, if you did the last part optimally, it's a very tight, terrible fight you have to do as the robot. And now we're at the last boss. This is really bad, so I'm glad I've got like 2 minutes to do this. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill myself, apparently. That's not what I wanted to do. What I'm actually gonna do is I want to hang the girl off the edge. So I'm gonna do a little bit. That should be fine. So we're going to hang her off, and like you saw before, the robots aren't going to be able to path to her. So that saves having to basically all these like platforms on the floor move. And there's one that you can, oops. There we go. Flip that a bit. There's one that you can put the girl on where she won't get harmed. And this is a bit, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, time! Cool, right, what was I saying? Yeah, so There's a bit on the floor you can keep her where she's safe, but obviously that means switching forward and backwards and whatever. So we don't do that. We just hang her off, and that's cool. So that was the run. Very quick. It's sort of a slow burn. It takes a bit to get into it, and then at the end, it's just a complete broken mess. Not a lot of glitches, really, just platforming everywhere. For this bit as a community, we ask that you post GG Bible Thump in the chat, as you'll see in a quick second. I guess my last few shout outs before I hand off. Big thanks to the community. Alexis, Stalador played the other two main runners of this game. There's been a little bit of a resurgence with it. Sort of doing weekly races every now and again. Weekly races. So yeah, if you're interested, we have a Discord. Feel free to hop in, ask questions. The game's cheap. It's not amazing casually, but it's a very fun speed game. It's supposed to be a very good beginner speed game. So if you're all interested, just ask us. We're all about, and we're all hanging out, ready for questions. So thank you for all the GG Bible Thumps. I'm gonna head off. Can I get away from my girlfriend on the couch? There we go. Cool. Thank you all for watching. Again, thank you all for donating. Let's get to 2.5K if we can, and I'll pass over to you. Thank you all very much. Bye.
Indeed. Thank you for the run there, Purkis. We are going to head over to intermission now, as we're going to be setting up for the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee run. You have about maybe 5 minutes to get this set up and decide which donation bid war that is going to win. Will it be Eevee? Will it be Pikachu? I am also handing off to Tiny Tim. He is going to be coming over and taking over as host now. So I will see you all later on for my run later on tonight. But for now, have a good one and continue watching Yuki.